Hello, and welcome. It is, hmm, it is of course Worldbuilding Wednesday. Let us hope things are working. It has, of course, been a while since we've world built. So, without further ado, I'm your host, Casimir Basilius, Imperial Lord of the Empire. Not Lord of the entire Empire, a Lord in the Grand Empire. And, well, we are going to world build, as it is Worldbuilding Wednesday, for some of you. For the rest of the galaxy, it's Friday. It's true. You can see. Oh, I figured out what's doing a thing that's confusing me. No, that's concerning. That's very concerning. Well, we continue with more technical issues for the most part. It's not going to stop us, probably, hopefully, ideally. I'm actually having my conscripts check right now. Yeah, there's an echo for some reason. Barely. Barely an echo. Don't know why. There's, at least as far as I know. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no reason there should be an echo. But there is. We'll have to deal with it. I hope you can't hear it. I can, just barely. Anyway, that's not what's important here. What's important here is world building on Worldbuilding Wednesday. Or, as stated, Friday for the rest of you. Or some other day, I suppose. Could be Saturday. Could be Thursday. One of those three. For us, it's Wednesday. No. For us, it'd be Thursday or the day before Thursday. Or Thursday. Huh? Where's Thursday coming from? Calendars are not my strong suit. We use a completely different calendar system than you, as you can tell by the literal calendar above me, ideally. In short, it's Friday here under the Galactic Standard Calendar System. And that's really what's important. We just call it Worldbuilding Wednesday because it's Wednesday somewhere. And, well, it rhymes. That's the real reason. It rhymes. I mean, Solo Sunday isn't on Sunday. But for at least you Elysians. Anyway, it's not important. It's not important at all. Let's see. So today we are going to be probably world building to a degree, lightly. But what we're definitely going to do is level up our mercenary adventure, Juliana Aldis. That is our goal for the day. Level up Juliana Aldis. So, let me bring up the sheet, ideally, hopefully, properly. Like I said, it's been a while. In fact, how long has it been? A interesting question. Hmm. Oh, almost a month or more. Not ideal. Not ideal. But we're back to it. So, without any more further ado, no more tangents, World build time. Let's see. Hmm. Huh? Hmm. Oh, there we are. Okay. This is what I was looking for. I was having some trouble finding it. There we go. Oh, trying not to scroll too far. Okay. So, we are, of course, a level 6 average NPC, meaning we can only go to level 7 average NPC. Just do the way it works. So, I usually do that to indicate that I'm in the middle of leveling, just in case anything happens. Okay. It's been a while, so let's see. Of course, this means I'm going to have to open all my books and all that to figure all this out. This will be relatively slow, but that's just the way it works. We have as much time as we need, probably. We have as much time as it takes for me to need a new coffee. To be more accurate. I mean, could get more coffee and then come back. It's possible. Who knows? Hmm. Things are loading a little slowly, so I'm just rambling while it appears. Here we are. Very good. Here's the part where I try and look at different things that will overwrite each other if I open them all at the same time. Lovely. It's called window management. Unfortunately, we're working with low-tech solutions, as of course, as you may know, or maybe you don't know. The device we broadcast with, the device that's right in front of me, blocks a lot of my advanced technology. I suppose we should, I mean, it's probably not going to be visible. We have a thing open, but, might as well swap over to the office view. Why not? There we go. That's good enough. I say it's absolutely not visible because of the thing taking up half the screen, but that's absolutely fine because what's more important is that we have the datasheet open. Where we are map-wise, not important. We're not, you know, rolling the dice. We're updating a character sheet. So, let's start with the easiest thing we could possibly update, health. 2 health every level after first, going from 6 to 7, meaning 27 HP. It's not 2 health no matter what. The class we're taking gives us 2 health. Let me make sure I haven't done any of this before. I'm pretty sure I didn't because I didn't put the markings down. But let's just double check that we're not, you know. Okay, so we'd have 2 times 6, or 12, plus, of course, 15. So we should be 27. Yep, perfect. So we have not started, except we probably did that first. Very good. Next, 6 plus int for skill points. So our int is 1, so 7 skill points. 7 plus 3 is 10. So we have 70. Good. Now, we'll get to updating the skills in a minute. We're just getting all the stats down first. everything that needs to change. Zoom in. There we go. Okay, so we're now level 7, so we'll go across this line. Base attack bonus goes up to 7, meaning all ranged attack bonus goes up by 1. Our melee attack bonus goes up by 1. Good. Now, let's see. Our fort reflex and will do not change. Trying to go across a line here. Our defense goes up by 1. 17 becomes 18. 26 becomes 27. Let me make sure I actually update things here. This goes from... This has not been updated in a while. Base attack bonus should be 7. Fortitude at this point should be... Let's check off alt defense first. 4. And our saves should be 3 across the board. Let's make sure that's even right. 3, 4, 5. That should be 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be 7. Will should be 3, minus 1, 2. Did I really not update those before? I think I missed the level when updating those. Oh. No, 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 no. We've made mistakes. Made so many mistakes. It's not 3. I read across the wrong line. No. This is why we double check everything. Base attack bonus should be 7. I was reading across the 7 line because I got confused because I was reading the wrong thing. It's 2, not 3. Reflex 2. Will 2. Good thing I caught that. 2. Our defense should be 4. That's proper. Okay, good. Let's fix the error we made. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay. Perfect. Better. Not perfect. We've probably made mistakes. Let's see. We also get a bonus feat. What else do we get for level 7? It's been a while. Let me double check. Make sure we don't get any upgrades. Nope, we still have 2 heroic surge. Our action dice don't go up. We don't get a stat bonus. We don't get an extra feat. We get nothing. Not yet, at least. I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not. We got upgrades. The game is more about what you can do, not what abilities and upgrades you get. If we want a feat, we can train a feat or buy it, you know? Here we are. I'm just double checking. Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. So now we need to pick a bonus feat and spend skill points. 7 skill points. We'll start with that because that's easy. 7 skill points. Our max is 10. So let's see. 1, 2, this is the 5. We We have the ability to do limited magic, so let's actually increase our resolve to max. I think it's time we do that. And our computers, because we've needed to hack. Why not? Like, what else are we going to upgrade? Put that to 10, which brings this. Oh. One in arcane? Not enough skill points? No. I'm going to be sad. Hello. No, this is Yuliana Aldous, for the most part. We're updating the character sheet. Unfortunately, we don't have enough skill points. Well, we do, but not enough to do what I want. I want better computers, but I'm limited. Very limited. Computers go up by 1. And that's all of our skill points, unfortunately. And we need to spend 1 fate. Technically an option. What is our datapad? Because datapads have upgrades that go like, well, all computers, including datapads, have options going up to like +5, including modifiers and other fancy stuff that do apply to some roles. They apply to certain things. It really depends on what you're buying and what upgrades for your computer you have. Ours is... Where is it? Ours is basic. It's no a +2 neural datapad. So ours is not bad. It gives a +2. I just wish I had more skill ranks. Because technically, oh, that's, you've reminded me. I gotta upgrade my hacking skill sheet. Okay, let's see. 1 per level, level 7 plus ranks. Our ranks on our 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, we should have like 9, I believe. So now 9 plus 7. 16. Looks like we didn't update this in a while. Oh no, level plus an additional 1. Okay, 14, 15, 16. So our hacking skill, well, our digital health goes up. Hello, welcome. We're doing stat stuff. Let's see. So our computer skill goes up, our ranged attack, our computer hacking bonus goes up to 9. Yes, indeed, boop. Let's see. And then, of course, there's a feat that needs to be picked, but I'm not sure what you learn all this needs. That's really the hard question that we have to deal with. Which one of the many? Ooh, what is it we're training? So we don't want to upgrade cast energy reserves or combat mobility, but we could, if we don't have it, take a casting feat, which is easier to basically get via level up than to purchase cost-wise. Let's see. So, just thinking which one we should take. As I quickly open our rulebook for magic casting. Ooh. Here we are. It's going to take a moment to load. Oh, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. Well, I hope your game mods still work. Let's see. Where did I place the skills? Casting affinity. We already have it. Oh, we already have it. What level do we need to be to upgrade that to be even better? That would be an advanced skill feat. Advanced skill mastery is level 6 plus any basic. We can take mastery. Good, good, good. Okay. Advanced skill mastery, casting affinity. So what that means is we will crit on an 18 or 18 to 20 with this skill check. Instead of a 19 to 20, we'll crit on an 18 to 20 for magic skill checks. We get a +3 as opposed to +2, so basically we have an additional +1 on our rolls. And we may choose to reroll one failed check with an arcane skill check a day. An in-game day, that is. But we may not reroll a critical failure, but we can reroll a skill check if we don't like the result once a day. I think we'll go with that because it's easier to purchase that than to train it. It would cost probably 100,000 space bucks and or a month or two to train. Not really worth it when we already have to basically train other feats for a month. There we go. We updated that. Should probably store information down in this sheet a bit better. I partially regret not getting increased Arcano Fray control or mastery or so forth, which would have let us do things a bit better. See, I was trying to decide whether +1 in rerolls and a higher crit rate, or instead of +1 to the skill, rerolls and a higher crit rate, we could have had basically an additional 5 bonus, an additional larger scale die, and stuff like that. But, eh, I want to reroll something like in case we roll a 2. You know, that seems powerful. Rerolling anything that's not a exceptional crit failure is, you know, rather powerful. So we'll go with that. Okay. I believe that covers level 6 to 7. We are now level 7. Let me make sure I got my XP chart right. 7 to 8 is 160. Let's double check. Experience points, 7 to 8, 160. Okay, I did it right. Good, good, good. Okay, Yelena Aldous has been leveled up, officially. So, other things we need to do, other things that are planned is, of course, I don't think Juliana Aldous will be working with the party. She's a poor mercenary, often the Terran nations, trying her best to get revenge. Revenge on, well, a nation and its leadership. I don't think she's cut out for the mercenary lifestyle. Well, she's a mercenary. I mean the more dedicated mercenary lifestyle. Juliana is... She's just a poor mercenary. She's not meant for greater things. She's likely going to die on a quest for revenge. I mean, I don't want Aldous to die, but I mean a level 7 mercenary against... No, no. Of course, yes, there's little Basil right there, sitting atop the paperwork. Little Basil tells me things, tells me to burn worlds, to bombard planets, to leave no survivors. Yes. Little Basil is good, a very good influence. Tells me that worlds should burn. Yes. Okay. I think we can officially minimize the sheet now. There we go. Now we should go to the world map. It's been a long while, so I have to remember which map is the world map. This is a blind guess. Proper map, yes, first try. Good stuff, good stuff. Nice try. No. I will never transfer Imperial funds to anyone. Well, I mean, I'll take 10 billion credits and or 1 credit unit and use it to buy luxuries, but that's the right of an Imperial Lord after all. Speaking of, I should probably work more on my nation at some point. My personal nation, of course. I have to take actions. It's been a while since I've taken nation actions. To make sure my sheet's accurate. We have the basic stats and everything down, but I should, take actions more with it. I usually just delegate nation command to, others, the people in the imperial government that work for me, the conscripts, So, yes, I'm pretty sure the Treasury Department would not like me handing out 1,000,000 Galactic Standard credits. I'm a combat lord. I enjoy being on the battlefield. I'm not here to manage the everyday stat and paperwork of a nation. That's for the government. That's why I pay them. That's why I pay them well. In fact, here we are. We're figuring this out. Let's figure this out. For fun. There we are. Maximize. Zoom. Oh yeah. I'd actually have to read the law. That's... What's the law say? Now I'm questioning. I was gonna open the nation rules. Not the nation rules, the organization rules to see organization ranking pay, basically. But, as I recall, the Empire does not pay differently. I mean, we pay exceptionally well, but we don't pay via rank, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to double check. If you're wondering what benefit there is to being a high rank in the Empire if you're not paid more, Assuming I can scroll to the right section, I could tell you exactly what the benefits are. Because there are benefits to rank in the Empire. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's not pay. Yep. The pay is the same. The pay is 403,200 credits at the end of a 2-year service, or 2,016,000 credits at the end of a 10-year service. However, if you are signed on for a 10-year term in the Imperial service, which doesn't necessarily mean military, you are basically given automatic licensing for military-grade equipment, life extension treatment at no cost, a free basic medical package, citizen class below class 3 will be immediately ranked up to class 3 citizenship. 04 ranks requires the citizen class of 2. Acquiring 08 rank improves that to a class 1 citizenship. At rank 02, the individual gains contact Imperial Government at start rank, and +1 to contact Imperial Government at rank 04, 06, and 010. Starting with a +1 at rank E8, every 2 ranks increases the individual's social status score by 1. If the score is below the base, up to a max of 19. Social score. And if you want to know what that means, a 19 ranked social score is here we are. A 19th ranked social score is basically lesser nobility. Yeah, you would acquire lesser nobility within the Empire, along with class 1 citizenship. I say lesser nobility, but basically the equivalent. It's not technically a noble title. It's basically the equivalent in other nations of lesser nobility. Basically lots of benefits in the system. Basically you go to if you were to go to a store, you would be put on a priority list of, if you make restaurant reservations, you're more likely to get them through, etc., etc., etc. It's not actual a nobility title within the Empire that's gained, of course. All Imperial nobility titles are based on system control of a star system. But, still, priority treatment at all establishments within the Empire, pretty good. There are many that would even give you discounts. Many stalls and all the like. But yes, we are equal in our payment for our forces. At least that is what the law right here is implying. I'd have to double check and read the entire file with the, all the text blocks to figure out what it is exactly. But at least from what is implied from the quick section of benefits. Anyway, but yeah, point being, we're paying them well, paying them exceptionally well. Actually, let us indeed check the nation payment chart to see how well we're actually paying them comparatively. So basically, we're even going to do some quick math. Basically, we're paying them 400,000, so that's a bit less than we're actually paying them. Divided by 12, divided by 4, is about 8,000. 8,333, actually it'd be a bit higher, like I said, we rounded down. 8,333 a month. Not a month, sorry, a week. 8,333 a week. Let's say they had the highest grade ranking. That would be a payment of 24 times times what? 200 plus 1,800. Nope. Let's try that again. I accidentally hit the wrong button. 24 times 200 plus 1,800. They would get paid anywhere else in the galaxy. You would get paid 6,600 a month. Not a month, a week. Sorry. Point being, pay in the Empire is ridiculously high. We pay our citizens exceptionally well. We pay our citizens far better than anywhere else in the galaxy, with higher benefits than anywhere else in the galaxy. If you were on any other world, do you know how much life extension costs? Millions of credits for life extension. We give our citizens immortality for their mandatory 2-year service. It's not mandatory immortality, it's mandatory 2-year service of conscription that could be in the military or government. But we're giving them millions of credits worth of benefits and better pay than, say, a general anywhere else in the galaxy. All citizens are paid exceptionally well. The downside is, of course, we don't pay our generals any better than we pay our conscripts. But then again, military service in the Empire it's a societal, I say military service, all conscription service, even office workers and factory workers in the government, it builds a shared culture. It builds a shared culture that our citizens can basically, build upon, understand, live with, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, everyone's paid the same, but the benefits go up. By technicality, yes. Assuming they served 2 years. Assuming they served at minimum 2 years of what could be considered conscription, then yes, if they did that minimum 2-year term, they would have benefits. It also depends on their rank. Their rank would modify benefits, but they would be paid 400 and something thousand dollars for service. However, I'm pretty sure that's a special case. What you're talking about is a special case, pretty sure, which involves, well, that's a good question. That's an actually exceptionally good question. Like, were they officially conscripted? Legally, if we talk about imperial law, they would have to have been conscripted for that to even work. Then again, background-wise, I'm pretty sure all imperial law was thrown out the window because, just background-wise, I'm pretty sure imperial law was disregarded by that imperial lord. I'm pretty sure that imperial lord was a traitor to the empire, So, I'm pretty sure in that instance imperial law was disregarded. It depends on how hard imperial law was disregarded. Did they file the paperwork with the imperial government saying, oh yes, here's conscription? They'd have to spoof the numbers and lie on the paperwork. They'd have to have lied heavily on the paperwork. So it's a complex case, that one. Like there's no easy answer I can give you on that because A, you're talking about a traitor lord. B, pretty sure what they did was illegal under the imperial system. C, they might have put paperwork through, but if they did, they would have had to lie on it. But they might not have put paperwork through at all. So that that's that's something that I would have to think about, and you would have to figure out. Like that's a very complex one. Basically, what you're talking about is non-standard circumstances. I mean, there are no private, well, hmm, the majority of imperial law, the, mm, yeah, no, the majority of imperial law goes through legal system wise is government run. The majority of imperial law is government run. So you wouldn't go to a private, you'd have to file that with the imperial uh, government division. And like by technicality, if you were, as an imperial citizen, if you were wronged in a local matter, you would have to file that locally in the local system. You do have rights in the entire empire to be technical, but if it's a lesser legal issue, usually, usually you're required to file that legal matter with the imperial lord's territory that it's under. However, what you're talking about is a grievance filed against an imperial lord, an infringement on base imperial rights, which are guaranteed by the imperial core, in which case you could technically file that anywhere. You could file that anywhere and it would be passed up to, well, it'd be passed up to the chain to where they would handle that with that lord. Like, that lord would be in trouble with the core government. It would usually pass up to his lord, the lord of that lord. If they don't have a leader, it would pass all the way up to the core, technically speaking. In the core being independent forces. Yeah, that's the issue here. Being a traitor lord, I'm pretty sure the legal system breaks down when the civil war in the empire is going on, and like, yeah, like I said, it's different circumstances. It's non-standard circumstances. Like, they're a complete traitor to the empire. So, not. I mean, debatably, your character is loyal to the empire. I mean, I'm not sure where they stand in regards to the empire, but the lord that that they have dealings with is a traitor. I'm pretty sure, the imperial core government going, hey, you've committed space crime. I'm pretty sure they're not going to listen at that point. So, like, if there wasn't an imperial civil war going on, you could have filed it with the core. I mean, to be fair, if you do file that, there is the possibility, even if even if they can't directly deal with that lord, even if they can't directly deal with that lord, A, they'd file it, and the charges would be brought against that lord at the end of, like, what, at the earliest possibility, the charges would be brought against that lord, first of all. Second, um, you might still receive benefit if you file, like, technicality wise, like, while the grievance with that lord might not be filled, the core and or the lord of that lord might provide benefit regardless. Because in the empire, as much as many of you may think the empire is an evil dictatorship, the empire takes the rights of its citizens very seriously. Like, yes, travel can be monitored based on citizenship class. Yeah, but technically freedom of travel is a right in the empire. The only way to restrict travel in the empire is from citizenship ranking. And you can't just drop somebody's citizenship ranking that involves legal systems. It can be raised, and is raised no matter what through service. Those are benefits of military service or government service, or raising your citizenship status. So, like, like you can force, in a sense, your way to be allowed to travel through service in the empire. But like, it's not like technicality. Class one citizens, not class one, sorry, class five citizens are restricted from travel everywhere. It's certain circumstances you're going to be monitored as a class five citizen. A class five citizen's a former criminal, and or somebody who speaks very, like, has traitorous ties. They're going to monitor your travel. Some imperial territories from some imperial lords might be like, we're not accepting class five citizens. They can't restrict class three citizens. And basically, service, like 2 years of service, will always basically reset your citizenship class to set class two minimum if it's military service. So basically, you can always have a sense of freedom of travel, technically speaking. Anyway, point being, despite being a authoritarian dictatorship with a sort of feudalistic monarchy running it, the empire takes its citizen rights very, very seriously. It is like a lord, as powerful as a lord is, with all the rights as a lord has, they cannot infringe upon the basic rights of a citizen. You can take that up with the imperial core government or the lord of that lord, and if the lord of that lord basically says, no, I'm not going to enforce your rights, you can take it all the way up to the core. Like, your rights are guaranteed as an imperial citizen. So, you know, like, yeah, like, you could probably acquire benefits from how your character was wronged. Like, the core will provide benefits even if the Lord won't, and they'll basically force the Lord to at some point, you know. I say force the Lord to be fair, unless a Lord does something absolutely egregious, it's so that's the one downside. Like I said, lords have exceptional rights, far more than a citizen. So, to be fair, like, wow, the Lord will be penalized. If it's monetarily, that's nothing to an imperial lord. Like, they will be, honestly, the more powerful thing that will happen to a lord is the societal, the society, the society, cultural markings. In a sense, more so. This is Worldbuilding Wednesday. This isn't the D&D game itself. We're just talking lore about the Empire, in a sense. This is Worldbuilding Wednesdays. We usually ramble about the lore, make maps, stat things, just basically chilling and doing Galactic Requiem stuff is Worldbuilding Wednesdays. On solo Sundays, which are on Friday, um, we run a solo tabletop RPG, and then of course there's normal D&D day, well, Galactic Requiem day, in which we actually roll the dice with players and all that, but that's not streamed or anything. Um, but yeah, basically, as a uh, as a citizen, your rights are guaranteed. And like I said, the penalty to a lord if they infringe upon those are basically going to be cultural. They will it'll go like a mark on their record basically. Every other imperial lord will be encouraged, not forced to. They don't force other imperial lords, but every other imperial lord will be encouraged in a sense to look down on that lord. So basically, strangely enough, as stated, despite being a authoritarian dictatorship, it is not ideal to infringe upon your citizens' rights, or you will have penalties placed upon you. So, crazily enough, citizens' rights are important in the Empire despite dictatorship. Wild. Yeah, like, actively, your character can seek benefits, and you will likely receive them. you could receive a payout, and like depending on the review, you could actually be paid up to the amount of time your character was basically working in quotation marks for that Imperial Lord. They'll pay you the amount equal to what you should have earned. They'll also give you any benefits that would have applied, and probably a secondary payout for troubles rendered. Like, you're looking at a case probably worth a few million, if not multiple millions. Life extension for free permanent medical treatment within the Empire, probably a citizen status increasing, stuff like that. Now, it's not an absolutely easy road. You did escape through the Commonwealth and acquired Commonwealth citizenship. The Empire would look down upon that. However, if you get a good lawyer in the Empire, they could argue it was the only way out of the situation. So, you know, and I mean, to be fair, I say arguable. The Lord you're up against, the Lord you're basically in, infringed upon your imperial rights is a traitor. They're a traitor. The Empire cares far more that they're a traitor than the fact that, like, you escaped through the Commonwealth and got Commonwealth citizenship. Like, the Empire would much rather make an example of the traitor than really complain about the fact that you sort of did an imperial taboo in having citizenship outside of the Empire. So, probably don't have to worry much about that. But yeah, I mean, at worst, one of the benefits you might have looked at was increased citizenship status from like 3 to 2. Given the fact that you have Commonwealth citizenship, at worst, benefits wise, they might go, yeah, but that is traitory. So we're not going to increase your citizenship status to 2. We'll just leave it at 3. That's like the only probably loss of benefit you're looking at, maybe. Maybe a bit loss of, it really depends on how they view it, but possibly a loss of social status up ranking 2, probably. Stuff like that. But not like you'd gain full monetary benefits and stuff like that. Things I did not expect to cover today. Imperial legal system shenanigans. Let's see. So, yeah, win-win. Like, genuinely, you have no real reason. I mean, of course, other than maybe in-character reasons and the current distance from Imperial territories. You have no reason not to file, basically. Like, you would just, it'd just be beneficial, basically. It'd just be absolutely beneficial for your character. If they even understand that. If your character even understands their rights as an Imperial, they then they have no reason really not to file. Imagine though, you just wander off, you show up, you show back up with the party and like, hey, you'll never believe the party, we need to buy this thing. Oh, you'll never believe, I just happened to buy this tank. What, how? That tank cost this much money? Yeah, no, I just happened to buy one of those. No, let's see, you probably earn. I just happened to, no, at minimum, at minimum, you would have earned if you file genuinely. Because do you remember the price of the helicopter? The price of the helicopter was like 400,000. At minimum, you are basically guaranteed to earn at minimum 400,000. Because even if your rights were infringed on for a little bit, they would consider that conscription at like minimum. They would consider that even if it was less than the 2-year term, that would be forced conscription against terms. You would earn at minimum 400,000 or so. You would be able to buy that helicopter immediately. If that's fine, do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. That's fine. Look, we just ramble here on World Building Wednesdays. It's a lot of rambling. Unfortunately, probably not Imperial grade unless you earn a lot more. But no, you would minimum payout. You would be able to get the the combat helicopter, which is even more reason to file if your character knows that they can. Just yeah, you show up back with the party like, here's my helicopter. What when did you get the money for that? But yeah, mm, that's the trader though. The difference is that's the trader's forces that sent the hit squad, not the core government. It's the trader that wants Ava dead, not the core, nor even like any individual lord that's not the trader. The two poor traumatized imperial conscripts. Yeah, I don't think they're on this world anymore. I'm pretty sure they left. But yeah, I mean they work for an imperial lord somewhere. They can't just abandon their their work. They'd get in big trouble. But yes, um, assuming like theoretically, if the conscript term ends, they can do what they want. But truly, that -1 charisma. No, no. But I mean, it is possible, assuming like to be fair, those two conscripts are not fans of their imperial lord, so. Hmm. Let me see. Oh yeah, Yulan Aldous completed her objective, so basically, basically the next step is free. We have a not a helicopter. I was thinking about the helicopter. Now we have a dropship. Let me check my sheet real fast. It was the non-FTL variant, unfortunately. Come on, load. Nope, it's lagging out. Lovely. Nope, there we go. Okay, yeah, no, it's just a standard dropship, basically. So, Could sell it for a lot and then buy a used FTL one. Maybe I'd have to do the math on that. But basically, you learn all this is free from the city to take any contract she wants and all that. And I assume that's what we'll figure out on Solo Sunday. We'll figure out what adventures and all that Yelena Aldous wishes to do. Hmm. I mean, since we're on the topic. Here we are. But, ooh, now I'm curious. Now I am curious. Let's see. So, we have before us a standard pay chart for how much people earn in the rest of the galaxy. I'm wondering how that actually compares, because I realize the two systems might not be equal, and that concerns me. I don't mean the two systems like the Empire and the non-Empire. I mean the average pay rate and the pay chart here. Let's see. Pay grade 1, 100, 700 a week. 700 a week. Okay, now let's go to law. The law book. Assuming 700 a week for the lowest possible pay for an organization. Nope, nope, that actually... Okay, good. I am happy. I was concerned that the math would be off there. Technically, a lowest ranking job in an organization chart for organization payrolls does fall into the law accurate chart for uh, pay within the galaxy, basically. Because we look at 700 a week for the minimum ranking, which is just below, it's above the basically minimum wage in the galaxy of 10 credits, or the minimum wage is 5 credits an hour. It's far above that. 10 is low pay. You don't see that. I quote, the rough average pay in civilized space is 20 to 30 credits an hour. So basically, we're looking at um, just below the 20 credits an hour mark at a entry-level job. That entry-level job being rated as, let's see, the title basically being rated as an intern is earning slightly below. And then once you get hired on fully as an employee, that's going to be 200 plus 600, so 800, which falls exactly at the average of 20 credits an hour. So it actually, the chart, I did the math properly back in the day. The chart works. Sometimes I get concerned that I'll work on multiple systems and, you know, forget that a previous rule exists and make the math off on two things, you know, and then things are just wrong, you know, because the math will be wrong on two charts, but it looks like we did right. I mean, going on a quest to find a cult is probably dangerous. Going on a, it's possible. It's possible. It's risky. It's dangerous. You probably have to leave where you are. That's the main problem. You're 60 something, if I remember correctly. We have a map. What am I talking about? We have a map. I was about to say 60 something sectors, but crazily enough, due to the way Galactic Requiem is run with stat blocks and everything, we have maps. I think it's 20, 21, 20, something like that. Something like over here, I believe. Rough estimate, but at least we can get a roughly accurate estimate. Yeah, you're looking at like 50. 50, also sectors. 54, possibly more. Well, no, we know exactly where. We have map charts. It's either here. 54 to 57, basically. 54 to 57 sectors. So, no, not a 5-minute trip. That's why I was measuring. We can get the exact math on this. Open our calculator. 50, we'll say 5. We'll say in between, 55 times 150. And then it's never a straight line, so times 2 or so. Could be times 3, but we'll be generous. 16,500 hours. $687 days without a FTL gate. Without a specialty FTL gate or long-range gate, you're looking at 687 days or about 1.88 years of your Elysian years. To be fair, galactic years are shorter because we have a different calendar. But yeah, you're looking at like 2 years travel with standard FTL. You're looking at direct gates less. No, Eldritch warping, no. No, it's complex and dangerous and risky. And that distance is, you're looking at possible instant death. Like the 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 chart is for opening portals long distance is risky and deadly. It's the the drain of stats for casting that kind of eldritch magic is like you try and open a portal across the galaxy, fall over and die. Actually, now you've got me curious about the math on that. This is why I said everything here is tangents. Because I like having accurate information, and thus everything leads to tangents. Let's see. Distance. We can actually, this is perfect. It's measured in light years. Why? Despite me minimizing it, the calculator decides to keep closing itself. I'm going to scream. Let's see. You're looking at about 8,250 or so light years. What is your ability scores? Like, what's your highest ability score? Whoever's trying to Eldritch teleport. The teleporting individual. Ooh, ooh. Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't try it. They may or may not instantly die, but if they don't instantly die, they will exit the other end of the portal, basically, if not dead, shaking violently, unable to. They'd be an exceptionally pain. Exceptional pain. It is. It's not. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's a significant chance it's a save or die kind of thing. It's very much not the kind of distance that is conductive for health. But basically, I mean, Ava specifically, the traveling through the portal to get up there, I'm pretty sure, and not the modifier, the total. But, even then, even then, it's not a good idea to travel through an eldritch portal. Just, there's basic damage. Yeah, like, it's, it's, uh, it's needless damage. Is it faster than traveling via ship or even gate? Yes. A gate might take a month for a fast gate, you know? Like, it'll still take time, less than 2 years, but, you know, instantaneous. With Eldritch Magic, you're looking at probable death, and even, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, I say that with a lot of, a lot of asterisks. Is it possible to do so without dying or without being in extreme pain and being just obliterated? Yes, there are ways. There are ways using the Eldritch Magic system to do that without any drawback. Well, there's always drawback with Eldritch, but without any real significant personal drawback, there are ways to do it. I cannot tell you those ways. I am not allowed to tell you those ways. But there are ways. They exist. There are ways to offset many Eldritch effects. I just am not allowed to tell you them. As mentioned, the Eldritch Magic system is specifically designed to be a mysterious puzzle. People who choose to be Eldritch casters or learn Eldritch Magic have to face puzzles. If you want to do easy magic, be a normal caster. Eldritch Magic is, you literally have to, I give you a spell. I go, yes, here's a spell. You're pretty sure that it's called this. What does it do, though? Trial and error. You will learn the spell, and hopefully you don't die. We like embracing the H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu mythos, Call of Cthulhu style. You don't mess with eldritch things. It's not simple like normal magic. It's dangerous, deadly, and it is a risk when you partake in eldritch magic. We embrace that whole thing. I believe that's how eldritch magic should be. It is something that should not be fully understood, and we embrace that in Galactic Requiem. Yes. Yes. If you mean warped space, or traveling through real space but warped, no. If you're talking about teleportation via eldritch means, yes. Unless the ways to offset it are used, which I cannot currently state. But in short, yes, unless offset is used. I mean, while I can't tell you exactly what's needed or how, as that would be against the rules for me to tell you exactly what's needed or how, I can tell you this. I can tell you this easily. You've seen, we watched the movie The Void. We watched that movie. Yes? Then you know, loosely, some of how Eldritch Magic works. If you've seen, if you've read any Call of Cthulhu, if you've seen the movie The Void, if you've seen any movie with a cult doing weird magical stuff, then you have a good idea of loosely how Eldritch Magic works to get things done. And while I can't be specific with the specific spell used or anything like that, rituals, basically rituals, I can't explain which rituals or how or what's needed, but rituals and proper procedures can mitigate things. Just do the proper rituals and procedures. Why do you think Cthulhu has to go through all this, like, proper stuff, and the cult needs to do this and this and this properly when the moon is at this point in time to summon the eldritch deity to them to yeah, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. A little bit of both, sort of. You're partially right, but a little bit of both. You also have to do it to not take penalties. If you don't do it, you take complete penalties. It depends. Some abilities take penalties if you don't do that. Technically, appearing before does not innately give penalties. I say appearing before, basically responding to cultists per se does not take penalty, usually. Depends on a variety of factors. But yeah, no, to not take penalties, to not be insta-hit by a boat and forced to dematerialize, you generally need to do the proper rituals. You can't just wake up without the proper rituals and expect to not get hit by a boat and dematerialize. Spoilers, I suppose, for a story that was written in what, the 20s, the 30s? But yes, even Cthulhu, without the proper rituals, will be desummoned by boat. You need the proper rituals. Too many debuffs. True. He ain't me, though. He ain't me. Nah, I'd survive. um, yeah, generally, the debuffs or penalties are not worth it. Just do the proper rituals. As you can see, at least for mortals, trying to do stuff without the proper rituals for mortals is basically just instant death. Depending on what you're trying to do, it can be, well, you've achieved nothing, you've achieved poor results, but very often, I mean, like I said, if you've seen any cultist media, we're going to summon the thing. Oh no, they mess up the ritual. The cultist immediately bursts into flames and explodes. You know, like, it's a risk. Things must be done properly. Can you achieve it? Yes. Do you want to take the risk? No. So yeah. A lot of things like that. But, um, hmm. Yeah, that's generally the basics of Eldritch. I say the basics, that's the very, 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 very loose overview of what I'm even allowed to say about how Eldritch magic works. As I said, there is definitely an entire rule set behind how it very specifically works. I mean, as you know, I wrote space stock market rules. I definitely genuinely have an entire rule set behind Eldritch Works. It's one of the few things I'm not allowed to say because of my view on how I believe Eldritch magic should work. I feel that explaining the exact ways Eldritch magic works, like if I were to say, oh yes, to teleport across the galaxy without penalty using Eldritch magic, you need this, 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 and this, and doing this, this, and this at this and this time, it cheapens the sense of how Eldritch magic should feel, you know? Which is why we're always very vague on the way Eldritch magic works. Explanation of normal magic, I can do easily. We can explain, oh yes, so for normal magic, you roll the modify, and these are the penalties. You take this distance penalty for a normal teleportation spell. How you'd also need a score. So I can actually just tell you the normal magic. You would need enough mana, basically, to teleport long range. You need scrying to determine the location you're teleporting to. There are different teleportation spells that you can know that increase the distance, but those count as, I think we talked about this before, known spells is one of the categories of like, these are spells you actually know. Basically, long distance teleport using normal magic falls under that. That falls under, you you can teleport, but the DC to teleport that distance is so high that you basically need to have it as a known spell, long distance teleportation, to decrease the penalties for teleporting long range. It's basically like an upgraded long range teleport spell, basically. And there are ways to do it without necessarily having it as a known spell to make it possible. Anyway, point being, like, for the normal magic, I can absolutely explain how long range teleport works. And all the penalties and modifiers and exactly what you need to do it and all that. Should I necessarily explain all that? No. No. I also believe that it should be learned in game. I believe that it should be learned in game. But that's not something I'm absolutely restricted rules wise from explaining per se. You know, like, that's not something I'm restricted from explaining by my own rules. But yeah, you are free to ask questions at any time. Yes. Um, so yeah, that's the basics of that. Hmm. And I suppose we are, in fact, approaching the usual time, approaching our usual amount of stream time. It's been a while, so I think we will call it here. I mean, my main goal for the day was to basically level up the character. That was my goal for the day. We achieved it 100%. Next time, Solo Sunday, which is on Friday, what we're going to do is we are going to probably build adventures. I say build adventures. We're going to fill out the GMBot chart a bit and wander around the city, figure out what Yula and all this is going to do, see if any random events occur, maybe do a little bit of chilling, stuff like that. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Next Worldbuilding Wednesday, who knows? Because we won't be able to know that until, yeah. Anyway, that's our plans. As always, I have been your host, Casimir Basilis, and I hope that you all, yes, all of you, have had a wonderful day, and that you do have a wonderful day. Anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and we're getting back on schedule, and I'll see you all next time.